Yep.
Cool.
Smile. Here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm Jason. This is Izzy next to me, and Cindy's right behind us. Welcome to Sketch Club. Before we get started tonight, I thought I'd just take a few minutes each night before we get started at 7. And tonight we're going to do 2 10-minute sketches and kind of review what we're going to do, a little introduction. So let's hop on over to the iPad and get going. All right, so a couple of points. First off, there's absolutely no right way and there's no wrong way to do this. Okay, just do it. Pick up something to mark with, pick up something to mark on, and just do it. That's the only way to get started. And what else? I'm going to share my approach here in just half a second. Hello, Claudia. So for my approach, I try to look from large to small. So instead of seeing the details, I'm going to try to see what overall, and see, I see a big cube there. He's following. And then if we added light and shadow to that, it would look like that. Okay, so what if we, right, can you see that? The light side and the shadow side. And then if we made the background in between those, we'd have 1, 2, 3 values. That would look like that. Okay, so you're going to see me doing that. And instead of doing the shapes of objects, what I found, if I will draw and paint the shape of light and the shape of shadow, my shapes are much more interesting, and therefore my paintings are much more interesting. So that'll be the first image we work on tonight. And the second image goes out to a very special person. We're going to do a little sunflower. But again, we don't have time for this whole setup. So how are we going to look at this? Well, you see the cup? You can almost see a big cup there. Before I see any ragged edges or anything like that, that dark would be the bottom of the cup, and then the leaves would be the side of the cup. Then, if I looked at what's light and shadow in that cup, of course there's a dark bottom, but do you see the shadow side? And then there's one pointing down. So I want to look at the big things like that. And again, if we don't copy the shape of the sunflower, but instead look for shapes of light, dark, and then background, or light, gray, and dark, 1, 2, 3, we'll get some more interesting things. So I hope that makes sense. Again, if you have another way of doing it, do it your way. But when you see my examples tonight, that's more or less how I'm thinking. And I'm trying to come up with beautiful light, dark patterns, because underneath any image, the light, dark pattern is actually what the viewer is seeing. Ready? Okay, so with that said, we will be ready to go. I'm going to wait just another minute. Hi, Shakti. Let a few people get here and we will start sketching. So if you like to share, we highly encourage you to take some images of your sketches and leave them in the comments. If not, if you want to hide away in the closet and participate in chess club, you can do that and nobody has to ever know about it. Or you could take the opposite route and have the whole family join in. So whatever works for you. All right. So we got a lot of people here. Everybody ready to sketch?
Yes, got Darlene and Susan.
Darlene, Susan, Shakti, Claudia. Izzy, you ready?
Yeah.
Is you ready?
Just gotta turn the page.
Okay. Excuse me. So tonight we'll be doing 2 10-minute drawings. You can just leave it up.
And Deb Kenny and your friend Tim
Deb
Puman?
Good. Tim? How's it going, Tim? Long time no see. Hi, friend.
Claudia says, Izzy, you look very pretty tonight.
See, I told you the set's prettier when I have my ladies around. So, we missed you when you were gone, Iz. We missed you. All right, 7 o'clock. You guys ready to get going? Let's go. Hey, Tim, look at that race car of his. I haven't seen him since high school gym class, I think.
Flashback.
Been a while, yeah. Let's see. So this is the wrong image to start with.
Oof.
Oof, as Izzy says. There we go. So that's the one we're going to start with. So I'm just massing in, trying to see the whole thing from top to bottom, and then thinking of that cube like I talked about in the introduction. And then I'm going to just make that cube more specific, or that shadow shape on the shadow side of the cube more specific to this exact shape. So again, before I see any of the detail of the belts and all the ornate stuff, I want to see the big overall. One of the things we're trying to do is train ourselves to see the big pieces quickly. All right, this isn't about finishing or looking pretty. It's just about practicing, like we're going out for a walk. Just going for a walk. Smooth talker. Oh, Deb. Deb. Are you,
Hardball there.
look at that. Smooth talker. I've never been called that in my life, so thank you, I think. Okay, so aim for like a relaxed engagement. You have to be engaged for sure, but see if you can be relaxed, right? Not trying to get into a museum. This isn't for your one-person show in New York or Paris. We're just making some marks on the paper. Nothing too precious. And the idea is to get rid of the fear, right? And just start making marks. Make some ugly drawings. Make some pretty ones. It doesn't matter. Just draw. It's kind of like learning a new language. That's good. That's the right shape. Yep. It does. It looks a lot like a bottle, doesn't it? Just the silhouette. And then how does it differ from the bottle? Is he widest at the shoulders, or does it look like his elbows are going out just a little bit? And then he gets narrow down towards his hip. Right? And it's almost straight, but it's a slight flare out. Slight flare out. Okay. How's this layout working for you guys? Is this working okay? I know it's a little cleaner with the overlays and the backgrounds blocked out. But until I up my skill level, it's just eating up a little too much time because I have to make all of those individually. Oh, look at that. Man, Izzy's back after a couple nights off and she gets all the attention.
Sure does.
I think so too. I think she's very pretty.
Mom's here.
Hey, just in time. Just in time.
Hi, Grandma.
So, Izzy was just getting all the compliments, Lori. Be happy to know. And I hope you brought your stuff to draw with, because this next one's just for you. So again, along with the light and shadow, that background, rather than it just being the tone of the paper by getting it a little closer, right? Lighter than the shadow, but darker than the light. And we can call that air or vagueness. But it really will add a lot to your painting. It'll put it in an atmosphere, or your sketch or your drawing. And the tool I'm using here is just a stump. You can use your finger, you can use a paper towel, whatever. It's just rubbing that charcoal in, softening the edges. A lot like I'm asking you to do with your paintings. Yes, for you. The next one's for you. Of course. Of course, of course. And look, just by getting those big pieces in, the whole thing's basically there. And then it's just a matter of decoration. Before you go in decorating, you want to check your proportions. And when we do these quick ones, they're going to be off sometimes. The drawing's it's okay. Let it be off. Again, these aren't the ones going to the museum. They'll never see these. Just for you. Ah, youth. Youthful optimism. Izzy's not so sure that hers won't go to the museum, is what she was saying. So, I certainly hope so, sweetheart. I certainly hope so. I think. Actually, I don't know if that would be a blessing or a curse.
It would be a both.
It would be a both? Would be a both. I like that. I think I'm going to take that up in my life philosophy.
Be a both?
Yeah. What is that? A little bit of both, a little bit of everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It'd be both. Is that how you phrased it?
It be a both.
It be a both. So I guess that's like an all of the above.
Yes.
All right, Deb. Well, the rule that I always had for my classes is good paintings, good paintings, good paintings. Go sell, 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 and I'll take 10%. So just make sure your estate's got me down for 10%, and we're good. Yeah, it's nice to sell, but again, it's not really about the selling. The selling happens and it's over. It's about the experience of drawing, the experience of working. What?
If you're an artist, isn't selling the whole point?
No, it's not the whole point. I mean, because I could do images that would sell a lot easier, that I could make a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. The point's beauty. The point's poetry. The point is truth. It's to live a life worth living.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Oh. My philosophy will go unheeded, it seems. But we can try. We can only try. How's everybody doing? We've got about 2-3 more minutes on this one. I had a hard time getting started today. I was in all kinds of technical stuff with the stream, and I just had to say, press record and go. Yep. So you might notice, and somebody was asking me about this in class. Sometimes it just comes and it's easy and it flies out, and other days, not so much. That's all right. You gotta live both days. You just can't save up for your good ones. You live every day. Doesn't like selling because
emotionally attached.
Oh, because she doesn't like to let them go. Yeah. I love it, love it, love it. I hear ya. I hear ya. I was lucky enough just to sell one of my favorite ones, and it's a blessing and a curse. But we got to learn to let go. Got to learn to let go.
The fellow was easier for her.
This fellow's easy. Oh, good.
Good.
Good. Well, you started on a pretty tough one last one. I was throwing curveballs to everybody.
Literally, basketball.
Yeah. Izzy's basketball. She points out.
Yep.
But the thing is not to know, but just to go, oh, that's interesting, and then see if you can get a light dark pattern out of it. And so occasionally I'm going to give you easy stuff, and occasionally I'm going to throw some things out that are a little curveball. Because again, this is to keep us in shape. Keep us in shape. It's no fun if it's easy, right?
No, it is. Well, depends on what you're doing. Yeah.
I guess that's up to debate. Up for debate here. Again, even now at this point, think of open and closed. Where can we get in and out? Because it's a balance between structure and openness. We've got to be able to get in and out, yet there's got to be enough structure that it feels solid, that's not going to melt. And what it's next to is very important, right? Even before I get the statue graceful, I'm thinking more about the big pieces of that background to the shadow to the light. And how is that measure? The measure. All right. That is it for this one. The 10 minutes is up. And we're on.
Somehow Claudia's comment got back up.
Still up? Okay. Oh, I see what I did.
What'd you do?
I undid that and instead of that.
Wait, so if there's a comment on the screen, it pops up in that thing?
Mm-hmm. These are called overlays. So like this is an overlay.
Ooh.
So we're watching a video with a camera overlay of me, you, and Mom, and an overlay of the beautiful sunflowers that are just for Lori. They're for everybody, but they're especially for Lori. Again, we want to find the big shapes, the cup. So don't go start seeing and drawing those individual petals, right? Try to see the big structure. And what's the light dark pattern? Yay for flowers. All right, we got one vote for flowers. We've got one vote for flowers. That's good. See if she feels the same way after she does sketching them. Flowers are a lot like portraits and head drawing. Everybody wants to paint somebody until they start doing it. And they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. But once we learn to simplify, we can do them. And that's the key, is learn to simplify. Notice how the sides of the flowers aren't even, right? They're a little out of whack. That's going to make for a more interesting drawing or painting, right? Variety. We don't want everything even. And every single one of us are basically born fence builders. Let's make a mark here. Let's go over this distance and make the exact same mark and go the exact same distance and make the same mark again. If you go on autopilot, you'll find that you got the same mark over and over and over again. It's actually a real struggle to keep variety and differences in there. Right? So one of my strategies is I kind of hop from side to side rather than just going straight around. If you kind of go too straight around, things are going to even up. As soon as your mind is bored, it goes wandering off thinking about something else, and your hand becomes a fence builder. Equal space, equal mark, equal mark. And you don't care because you're vacationing wherever you are. You're having a good old time in your mind. And then you look back, you're like, what happened to my drawing? Well, you can't draw. Well, you gotta be home when the drawing's happening. Can't be on vacation. You getting the big cup? Yeah, good. Good. Once we get going, maybe we'll, in order to play any music, you have to have a subscription that you have the license to play. So maybe we'll have a little background music in the future on these things. Until then, I guess it's my wonderful radio voice.
Didn't you do that one time and like all the sound got cut off your video?
Yeah, they'll remove the video or they'll remove the sound completely.
Yeah.
Then a team of lawyers show up at your door and oh my, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Rini's watching. She texted me saying she's watching.
Hey, Reenie. Nice to have Reenie back. Reenie was having all kinds of computer troubles. Had to take a little vacation, and she's back. It's good to see your beautiful face in class yesterday. I guess it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no sense of time anymore.
It's only Tuesday?
It's only
It's Tuesday. I know. We still got the rest of the week to invest.
I don't know why I thought it was Thursday.
What are you guys going to get out of the week? Uh-oh, is our 10 minutes up already? No.
No, 5.
We still got a few more minutes. I was just going for the eraser. What I'm doing with the eraser is I'm pulling the light out. And then notice on that shadow side, the very edges, has a little light as well. Sue Nash.
Hey, hi, Sue.
Hello!
Good to see you, Sue. Good to see all of you guys.
I know. It's been...
So a little light on the edge, and what that'll help do is it'll help separate the shadow side of the sunflower leaves from the background. So you see how we've got a dark, light, dark pattern set up? Right? Because that's what's visible. And since this is a visual art, we've got to work with these visual principles. So what we're actually doing is trying to design a light, dark pattern. I know. I started the introduction by there's no right way and there's no wrong way. For no right, no wrong way, you sure are talking a lot, Jason. I get it.
Wow, so you can read my thoughts.
Oof.
Oh. So, Izzy's ready for her next stage of life. I don't know that Cindy and I are. But she's going there anyway, so I guess we'll just buckle up and hold on. Again, you see how the shapes aren't little petal shapes? They're bigger dynamic shapes. And that's what we want to learn to see fast. And we want to learn to think in those terms, right? Not in terms of those individual petals, but how can we coordinate a light-dark pattern there that's pleasing to the eye? What will it take? So now I'm expanding the dark on the inside, again, to carve in a little more interesting. Well, if Cindy and I can't handle it, Grandma says she's ready for Izzy. She's ready. It's good to know you got backup, let me tell you.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna need backup. So you see how that interior dark shape just got more interesting? So it's not necessarily about doing more and more and more, but let's make sure whatever you've done, does it look the best? And now look how I'm handling that shadow. You see how I'm getting it to meld into that center dark? Again, because that's going to create more interesting shapes with more interesting releases. We don't want everything hard-edged. We need some hard edge, some definiteness, but then we also need air and atmosphere and movement, ways to get in and out. Right? If you pick up one end of the stick, make sure to bring the other end of the stick, or it's going to be a hard fall in a couple steps.
I kind of contortioned the
Oh, I love it though. Izzy put a little stem on hers and everything. Excellent.
I'm fancy.
You are fancy. You are fancy. How are the rest of you fancy people doing out there? You having luck? You having luck here? Again, if you're happy with what you turned out and you feel like sharing, love you to add them in the comments. Yeah. Deb says she's using pencil instead of charcoal. Again, your approach might be a little bit different, but and I don't always work with the same mediums. We'll see if we mix it up in here. But I have to admit, charcoal's definitely, it acts so much like paint in that we're thinking in terms of mass. Oh, you'll have to put yours up, Deb. Deb says she's loving hers. Even if you don't, you don't always win, so it's good to get some wins. It's good to have some turn out, for sure. So what I'm doing here is I'm adjusting that background a little bit. Again, to adjust impact, the visual impact of those light dark pattern. Well, for my dark, it's Conte. Here I'm just using dark charcoal.
Gotcha.
So, poor Cindy can't keep up. Every time she gets caught up with what I'm using, I go and grab something else. But that's the nature of art. I don't know what to say. So bear with us. We'll get all caught up. So I move fast.
I tried.
I'm trying to imagine you mixing it up. I don't think I've ever seen you mix anything up in your life.
Oh, goodness.
What?
You've done oil painting like his whole life.
All right. Hopefully my high school friend Tim is gone. So she doesn't think I've ever mixed it up in my entire life. And Tim, we're going to leave that like that. All right, buddy? All right.
Well,
I owe you one.
well, since you came to California.
Since I did. I was in California quite a few years before you came around, baby.
No, I just meant like I knew that.
But we didn't have iPhones. So this little image you have of me will never be destroyed.
No.
All right, so that's the 10 minutes there, guys. How did it turn out? How did it turn out? So a reminder, we'll be back here on, what day is it? It is
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we'll be back here Thursday for our sketch club. And on Thursday, we'll do one 20-minute. Again, I'll start with a short 5-minute introduction, and then we'll do a 20-minute one. And we'll go from there. So every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 o'clock. I hope you come sketch with us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We loved having you guys here. All right, so as we sign off, we hope to see you Thursday.
Thursday. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.